Welcome to the Esports Report. I am your humble host, Ashley Hodge. In this episode, titled Hearthstone 101, I will be covering the basics of Hearthstone so anybody can jump in and play. This is for brand new students, brand new coaches, brand new admin, or maybe even brand new PlayVS players or workers who really want to get into Hearthstone and understand it. Now, I have been playing Hearthstone since it came out. Like when it came out, I was very excited because I was a huge WoW fan. I loved WoW. I played WoW with my husband and my father-in-law. It was fantastic. But eventually I stopped playing because I wanted to play other games. And if you're playing WoW, that's all you're playing. So when Hearthstone came out, I was very excited because I loved card games. I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I went to Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. I won local, regional, and national Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments when that was a big thing. So that was really cool. And then, Hearthstone came out and I was like, oh man, another card game. Very exciting. So I played it a very long time and then I kind of dropped off right when the demon no, not Demon Hunter, because Demon Hunter was not a class. I can't remember. I dropped off, and then this is the newest expansion that I jumped back in. The Murder at Castle Nathria, which apparently is a dungeon or raid in the current WoW expansion. I think it's been a while. But anyway, I jumped back in, and now I'm going to walk you through how to play Hearthstone. So the very first thing you're going to have to do is actually download what you're looking at. This is the Battle.net client. So how do you do that? You simply open up a internet browser tab and you can click download Blizzard launcher, and it's the very first thing. You'll click on it, you'll download the launcher, make an account, and then you will download the game. So as you can see, you can download World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft Classic, Overwatch, Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, Call of Duty. Okay. So let's just go ahead and get into the actual interface. Alrighty, so this is the Hearthstone interface. So when you launch the Hearthstone app, this is going to be the first thing you see. You will see the different modes of games. So Hearthstone, the first one, this is the traditional Hearthstone experience. When you watch Worlds or when you watch Hearthstone streamers or the professional tournaments that Blizzard puts on, they are playing this Hearthstone, the traditional Hearthstone experience. Battlegrounds is essentially another game within the Hearthstone launcher. I've played it a couple of times. I'll talk about it. But basically, you and 7 other people are playing kind of like a team fight tactics. That's an automatic battle between opponents. So it's like that, except with cards. Mercenaries, I have played this. It's another new game mode that was here when when I started playing Hearthstone again. Um, Basically, you are a mercenary and you battle different NPCs to get to the top of like a chain of different minions, and when you get to the top, you get treasure. And then you have game modes, which are different ways to play. I think the adventures are in here, and those are the 4 options you have. Down here you have open packs. If you click on that, if you had any packs to open that you had earned or bought, they would be here, and you would grab them, drag them right here, and they would pop open. Right here you have your journal. So this is where you can see your quest and other things. I mentioned quests first because quests are very important. That's actually how you get experience that pushes your tracker. your reward tracker for the season. So you have daily quest, which you need to complete daily, and then you have weekly quest. As you can see, I only have one. It is played 3 games as Hunter, Shaman, or Warrior. Now let's say I didn't want that. I could click this button and refresh, but I do want that because I do play a Hunter deck, and it's going to give me this much experience. Now this is why it's important. This is your reward tracker, and you get one each season. Now what I did is I did buy the Tavern Pass. It was $19.99, and you do have to buy that with each new expansion. It resets each expansion. So basically what this is you get rewards regardless if you have the Tavern Pass. All the Tavern Pass does is give you more experience, more XP, and I want that because I want to get all the Tavern rewards. So you start leveling up, and as you level up, if you don't have the Tavern Pass, you will only get these down here at the bottom, these rewards. If you do have the Tavern Pass, you get the ones at the bottom and also the ones at the top. So as you can see, I've already completed all of these. I'm making my way down. So let me get back to where I was. Okay, there I am. So I get this, which is my next reward, the 75 gold. And then once I hit level 54, I will get 75 more gold. Once I hit 55, I'll get this awesome hero skin and this pack. Now, what I really want to do is I want to reach 100. Because I really want these. You get the hero cards, skins, and I really want them because they're cool. So I'm about halfway there. And again, you get this experience by completing your quest. And again, if you buy the Tavern Pass for $19.99, that will give you extra experience. I get a 15 XP boost. The next thing underneath is your achievements. All I do is click complete. Sometimes you'll get rewards by completing achievements, which is pretty important. And then down here you have your profile. It'll tell you where I started. It'll tell you how many wins I have. And then it's got the different modes. So I have 6 arena wins. I have 0 battleground wins because it's weird. I haven't done any duels. I haven't done any mercenaries. And then it'll tell you this is my class progression. So obviously Warlock, I've played a lot. I have 500 wins with Warlock, 2 wins with Mage, 475 wins with Hunter, 411 wins with Warrior. So you can see what I played the most. Alright, so that is that menu, and to get out of it, you just click off screen, and then you have the shop. This is where you can go and buy things with like real money, or if you just want to spend gold. As you can see down here in the right corner, I have 575 gold. That's from like completing quest or getting rewards on the reward tracker that I just showed you. So let's say I want to buy a pack of the new set. I don't need to because I own every card in the new set. But what I would do is click right here where it says latest expansion, Murder at Castle Nathria. And then you can see that you can spend real money. Like if you want 2 packs, that's $2.99. But right here, if you want 1 pack, it doesn't have like a monetary value. It just says 100 gold. So if I click buy, it's going to use the gold out of my 575. So that is a way where you don't have to pay to get the cards. But that's going to take you a very, very long time. And then the last tab down here is my collection. So this is where you go to look at any cards you have. This might be a lot, but at the top you have the different classes. So that's what all of these are. And then beside that, you have where you can actually change how certain cards look in a match. So if I click on this first one that looks like a D20, this is my coin. You actually get this if you go second. And I can customize the way that looks. I have the traditional skin for it, and then I have this golden skin, and then I have the silver one. And this is from the Castle Nathria expansion. So that's what I've got it set to. I simply right click it, and then I can click make favorite, and it'll make it my favorite, so when it appears when I'm playing, it'll pop up. Right here you have your skins for your cards, which I absolutely love. And same thing, you right click, toggle favorite, and that will make that skin appear. So I have 4, so I should only be operating between the rainbow, the pumpkin, the lemonade, and the pizza as my card backs as I play. And then the last one that kind of looks like a dome with a little person in it, these are your heroes. You can actually get hero skins. So for example, if I click mage, you can see that I've got the Kel'Thuzad, the inevitable skin, which has got the adorable little green ghost cat. So when I play mage, if I have this as my favorite, which I just changed, but there you go, and I make her not my favorite, this will be the hero that appears. So that's all that is. And then over here where it says my decks, this is where you can construct decks. So I am not a deck builder. Okay, I cannot build my own deck. I need help. So if you just wanted to go to new deck to try to build one on your own, you could. You just click new deck, and then you pick your hero. And you'll do this if you're using a deck list that you've copied and pasted. So for example, let's go to Paladin. Let's say I want to play a Paladin. So I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click choose. And then it's going to give me some options. It's got pre-made decks that you can kind of use, and then down below that it'll tell you how many cards you have. I always go to custom deck, and then that lets you put whatever you want in it instead of a pre-built, which is what you want to do anyway. So I'm going to click choose, and then you see it says custom paladin, convert to wild. Wild is where all the other expansions are. So if I didn't want to play the current meta of standard, which is kind of like where the competitive play is, and not that wild doesn't have it, it's just you have more standard Hearthstone tournaments than you do wild. So if I wanted to make this wild, I would convert it, and it's going to give me every paladin card from the current set to all the other sets that have come out, because eventually expansions get old, and what happens when they get old, they get shifted from standard to wild. So like if you wanted to play a certain card and it got shifted out of standard, you could always come to wild and play it. And I'm going to convert back to standard, and that will give me these options right here. So let me talk to you about, the cards, like what you're looking at. So let's go right here with the Seafloor Savior. It's the first card that I see when I open my Paladin deck. So in the top left corner, you will see a blue, I know that there's a specific name for this shape, but it looks like a D20, and you'll see a 2. So this blue up here with this number, that's how much this card will cost to play. Each round you gain what we call a mana crystal. So everybody starts with 0, and then on turn 1 you get 1 mana crystal, so you can play cards that cost 1 mana. On turn 2 you get 2 mana crystals, so then you can play cards that cost 2 mana, and that continues all the way up to 10 mana. 10 mana is normally the maximum you get. I say normally because currently one of the classes, Druid, can actually get up to 20 mana with a card. But that's getting into some advanced things. So anyway, the top left blue with the number, that's how much a card cost. If it is a minion, which this one is, it's a mech, it'll tell you right here on the bottom left, the yellow circle with the sword with the number 2, it has 2 attack, and then the red teardrop, that represents health, so it has 2 health. And this one actually has a battle cry. So each of these cards is going to have like a different tag, and you're going to have to like know what these tags are. I'm not going to go through all of them In this episode, that would take quite a bit. But for example, this one has a battle cry. So what battle cry means, as soon as I play it, this effect is going to trigger. The next thing that immediately happens is dredge. And from what I understand, that is from this expansion, question mark, and it grabs a card from the bottom of your deck and it pulls it to the top. So it's the next card you draw. And it says, if it's a minion, give this minion's attack and health. Give it this minion's attack and health. So that means if this battle cry pulls up a minion, that minion is going to gain 2 attack and 2 health. This next card, it is not a minion, it is not a spell, it's a weapon. So classes have weapons. So this one costs 2. It's Sword of the Fallen. It has 1 attack. I know that because it's at the bottom left with a sword. And it has 2 with a broken shield icon. So that is what we call durability. So basically, when you attack with a weapon, you will lose durability. So that means you can only use this one 2 times before it breaks and disappears. And then it has an effect. After your hero attacks, cast a secret from your deck. Okay, so let me show you what a spell looks like. Here you go. So here's a spell. I know it's a spell because it doesn't have an attack or health, and it doesn't have a attack or shield. So this is a spell. So it costs 3 mana. It's called Hold the Bridge, and it gives a minion +2/+1 and Divine Shield. Divine Shield is basically a shield that goes around a minion, so it actually takes 1 extra damage to kill that minion. And then it also gains Lifesteal until the end of the turn. Lifesteal is another tag where if this minion attacks, it will heal you when it attacks. So that's a spell. So basically, that's how you identify cards. Now, as you can see up here in the top left, it says 22. And then you've got this little icon that's like a mouth opening. If you click on that, this is going to take you to neutral cards. Neutral cards are cards that can go in any class. They're not class restricted. I always start with the class cards first and then go. So if you wanted to build your own specific deck, all you do is grab the card with the mouse and just drag it over here and drop it, and it puts it in there. Down here you have how much mana each card costs. So let's say I wanted to look at my 5 cost minions or spells or weapons. I'll click on that and it'll show me what I have for Paladin. If I go to the neutral minion tab, it'll show me what I have for that. You can also search down here with the magnifying glass and the search menu. You can type in the name of a card and find it. And then you have crafting. Crafting is where you can come to actually craft cards you do not have. So let's say I wanted this one right here. I know that I don't have it because it's blue. So I would click on it. And then if I had enough of this blue essence down here, I would hit create. It's going to take 400 of my blue essence and it would create the card. So you can actually craft cards you don't have to make a deck. For example, I did that with this one right here. It's called Spooky Mage. And the only reason I built it is because I bought the Kel'Thuzad skin with the Ghost Cat. And so I actually had to craft a lot of legendaries. The only legendary that this deck doesn't have that the original deck list had is Sir Finley. So I had to substitute for Sir Finley. But these other legendaries I knew I needed immediately. So that's basically that menu. Now, as I said, I am not a deck builder. I'm not good at building my own decks. So what can you do? Well, what you can do is you can go to some websites. So as I was saying, the as I was saying, I'm not good at building decks. I don't I'm not good at that. So what do I recommend you do? Well, the first website that I actually recommend you get acquainted with is called Vicious Syndicate. It's VICIOUSSYNDICATE.com. Get very familiar with this website, especially these two icons right here at the top of the page. You have the Data Reaper podcast, episode 98, if you want to listen to the podcast. I always go to the Data Reaper report. So if I click on that, it's going to take me to the aggregated data for the current meta. And this actually is updated quite often. So if I scroll down, I'm going to see the class archetype distribution. This is what class and what deck is doing the best. So if you go to what I'm on right now, which is all ranks, you'll see Warlock, Implock is doing the best right now, followed by Spooky Mage. Then you have Ramp Druid and Celestial Druid. Then Hunter with Face Hunter, Beast Hunter with Quest Hunter. Then Control Shaman. Then Quest Priest, Naga Priest, Thief Rogue, Pure Paladin, Demon Hunter, and Warrior coming up at the bottom. If you So before I actually get into Hearthstone gameplay, what I'm going to show you is the Firestone interface. Firestone is a deck tracker interface that Dylan and I talked about on our Hearthstone coaching couple episode, and it is a great resource to kind of learn Hearthstone. Now, obviously, you cannot use this on game day. You cannot use this in your competitive matches against other schools. So don't even record this to those, or not record this, but download this to your computers. Tell students that they can download this at home, but under no circumstances are they allowed to use this in actual competitive play. And you'll see why. So I've downloaded the Hearthstone, not the Hearthstone, but I've downloaded the Firestone deck tracker to my computer. All I have to do is double click on it to open it, and it's active. It's actually active on my second monitor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Hearthstone, because that is the traditional Hearthstone mode. It will show you all the decks that I have. This is the one that we just built by copying that deck list and pasting it. This is the one I was showing you, talking about that Spooky Mage. There's Daddy D's Imps. That's what I played in the Hearthstone coaching couple. I haven't played Murloc Overload. I do play Quest Hunter. I do play Face Hunter. A Big Beast Hunter. Improved Zoo is just another variation of this one. So I'm going to play Daddy D's Imps. Actually, no, I need to play a Hunter for my quest, so I'm going to play Quest Hunter. And I'm not going to talk about what I'm actually doing. I'm going to talk about the interface that you're going to see. So it's queuing me up. You see I've got a wait time. It'll tell me how long I've been in the queue. So it's matching me up against somebody of my similar status. So hopefully you're now seeing the deck tracker pop up, and this is a lot to kind of look at. But basically right here I have everything that's in my deck, and then I have what's in my hand. Up here where you see Quest Hunter, it'll tell you my win rate versus their win rate. Let me think. What else do you need to see? Up here in the opponent's hand, you have these M's. Those will eventually turn into numbers, and what that means, that's how many numbers per turn that card has been in their hand, and that is actually very, very important for things like Big Daddy D or Sire Denathrius. Over here you have the Firestone deck tracker. You have what they're playing. So this is a warrior. They have 5 cards in their hand. I don't know how many they have in their deck, and it'll tell me the coin. And this is kind of like a tracker that will tell you what cards get played. And then the last thing that you're looking at is these right here, these little numbers with the sword. That's how much damage you have on the board. I think that's really it. You have a turn tracker
right here. So I guess I will tell you what I'm doing. So that's the interface. So you can see that those M's have now changed to 0. So that's been in their hand 0 turns because I'm going first. So I'm going to play my quest because I'm quest hunter. That's what I am. My quest is I have to deal damage with 2 spells. The first reward is it lets me use my hero power to target minions. Right now it can only target its face. So he played a card that basically puts our 2 cards together, and the highest cost card is the one that gets drawn, and he gets to keep. So he got it the first time, didn't get it the second time, didn't get it the third time. So he's just trying to draw cards. What I'm going to do is, I want to start dealing damage. That's for me to draw. I guess I'm just going to hero power, and it's just going to do 2 damage to his face. So down here you can see what I have in my hand. And he's going to play that again. So he's again just trying to draw cards. So he's going to get that one because it costs 2 to my 1. He's going to not get that one because they both cost the same. He's going to get that one because it definitely costs more. So I know that he's drawing that. I know that's what's in his hand. And also, if you notice, the deck tracker will tell me that that's what's in his hand. So that's what he drew. That's what he drew, and that's what he drew. Also, it'll show you right here what's in his hand, what's in his deck, and then other. Okay, so let me think. That doesn't do me any good. I'm just gonna go ahead and start doing this. I'm gonna do damage. Just start ticking my quest, and then I'm gonna go face. I really don't. I need this for card draw. I really don't want to use that, and that's kind of. Oh. Okay. Well, he just conceded. Okay. So I get XP. I just got an achievement, and I just completed a quest. So now you get to see what a quest completion looks like. All right, and I'm actually now up to 55. So you saw that I got all that extra XP from the tavern pass that I bought. And my rank has went up. I'm silver 4, and I just gained a star. So a lot happened at once. Can't believe he conceded. Right, so let me go back. Now I can go to my journal, and I can go to my rewards tracker. So now I hit 55, so I get 75 gold. Well, not 55, but 54. I'm almost to 55. Once I get to 55, I'll get the character art and the card pack. And then I'll come right here to achievements, and I'll click complete, and that is it. So now I actually don't have any quests because I've completed them all. So I can play what I want. So now I'm actually going to play Daddy D's Imps, because that is currently the best card. Not best card, but that's the best deck right now. It's a tier 1. It's at the top. And, it's pretty good. Now, Dylan obviously is better at this than me because he's made Legend, and I haven't. Honestly, none of that looks good. I don't need Shady Bartender. I don't need Murlocula. I really have no need to keep any of that, so I'm going to toss all that back. Dylan's better at me at figuring this stuff out. What I'm really trying for is the Flustered Librarian. And some 2-drops, and I didn't get that. Instead, I've gotten Voidwalker, Fiendish Circle, Sir Denathrius or Big Daddy D, and Dreadlich Tamsin, which isn't great. It's not terrible, but if he's using a deck tracker, which he probably is, why wouldn't you? He's gonna know that I've got Big Daddy D in my hand, and that it'll be in my hand for a long time. I would dare say most people are using deck tracker. So this is this is Priest. So it's Quest Priest. I hate Quest Priest. I mean, it's got to be Quest Priest. That's what he's going to do. My problem is I'm not as familiar with the classes as Dylan is. I can't really remember what all of them are supposed to do. So I get that wrong sometimes. I guess he's not Quest Priest. He should have played his Quest because it's a 1-cost mana. Now, see, because he's not what I think he is, I don't know what he is now, and Dylan would know that. And also, playing the Voidwalker just to play him is not really great because he's not really protecting anything, but I get scared when I don't draw the cards I need. Yeah, so I probably shouldn't have played him. If I don't draw Wicked Shipment or Flustered Librarian or an Imp King boss, I'm probably going to Hero Power. I'm probably going to tap. Or I do have the coin, so I could coin Fiendish Circle to flood my board with imps. Because I don't know what this guy's doing. He's got 2 mana that he hasn't spent. He's got... I don't know. Maybe he's not there. Maybe he's AFK. That happens sometimes. I'm at a low level where stuff like that happens. Alright, so I drew the Flame Imp. So I think I want to play that. Guess what? What AoE does Priest have? I don't think they have. See, this is where Dylan would be better and would know more. You know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to coin. I'm going to Fiendish Circle just to like flood my board to see if I can get him to do anything. And then I'm going to end my turn. So now, as you can see, if I go back to talking about the Firestone deck tracker, you see the circle with a little sword that says 5. That's how much damage on the board I have. Okay, I think this guy's AFK, which means he's not playing and he's left. And I'm just going to keep attacking him until it's over. Which isn't really fair to you guys to see. But, you know, if this happens, he's AFK. So, whatever. Free win, I guess. Free climb up the ladder. Okay, so I see some cards moving up there. So is he there now? Okay. Okay, so he's not AFK anymore. Alright, we got a game going. And, you know, sometimes that does happen. I've been disconnected from a Hearthstone match. And it's very sad, but, you know, what are you going to do? Okay, so now he's back. So now, I'm going to play my Imp Gang boss. And I'm just going to keep going face. He's got to deal with my board here. Flustered Librarian would be great right now, or Shady Bartender. And also I have a big board where he could kill a bunch of things and power up my Daddy D. Let's see what he does. Also, just to let you guys know, school has started back, so that means I'm going to be very, very busy. I'm actually getting esports signups going next week, so the episodes are going to kind of like slow down. I promise I will do at least one once a month. There might be extra ones sprinkled in between that, like these little Hearthstone videos that I'm doing. And it's just because I like playing Hearthstone and I think it's easy. It's like easy content for me. And also, if there are students or coaches interested in the meta, I'm definitely going to be playing meta decks. So, you know, you could watch me struggle and try to make my way to legend. Oh, he's going to clear my board. Oh, he cleared my board. All he did was power up Big Daddy D and the Mischievous Imp, which is fantastic. Alright, I'm going to play the Mischievous Imp. And then I'll just play my Voidwalker, so he's got to attack that first. Let's see what he does. It's weird because I guess he's thinking really hard because he's taking a really long time with his turns. But see, that's my problem. I don't take a long time to think about my turns, and Dylan would say that's not good because it's not. Dylan gave me great advice, and I need to take it. I need to start thinking about what is my opponent going to do. You know, what do I know about this class? What do I know about this deck? And the answer is not a lot, even though I play it. And I need to be thinking about how I'm going to respond to what they do, which can be difficult. But I'm fairly confident with the Implock because I played Zoo. Zoolock was so crazy and such a fantastic deck that knowing that Implock is now like top tier meta, it's very exciting to me. And this guy is taking forever to pick his cards. This is also another strategy that people use. There are some people who will just troll you. I mean, he genuinely could be thinking about his strategy, but there is another thing where people, they just will wait and wait and wait to the last minute, which he thinks that might be what I was doing because I was explaining the interface at the beginning of this match, so that he could be like mad at me about that. But he's mad at me about that, but I'm trying to like genuinely think about what I want to do. But anyway, because he might have perceived that as me being cheeky, he might be doing it to me now. But what I'm trying to say is that that's a strategy that people will use, is to wait and let the rope burn and then do their stuff at the last minute just to frustrate you. It's a way of like being a troll. So he might have thought that I was doing that to him, but I promise him I wasn't. I was just trying to talk about the Firestone interface. Alright, well, he's just gonna kill on myself again, which is just fantastic. Because he triggered my Mischievous Imp, my Murlocula, and my third Denathrius. So I'm gonna tap. And I'm gonna put down Vile Library. I'm gonna end my turn. I'm really hoping for God, what is his name? Keltha something something. Because if I get him, I could play him, then my 0 cost Murlocula, and then Big Daddy D before turn 9 and just kill this fool. Which I hope is what happens. Like, come on, man. Where are you at? Where are you at? Come on. Where are you? I'm going to tap again. I'm going to try and find him. Oh, come on. That's who I'm looking for. Kelthos Sinstrider, and I can't get him. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna... Man, I shouldn't trade that, though. Okay, I'm gonna Wicked Shipment. I'm going to Mischievous Imp. And then I'm going to Vile Library one of the 1/1 Imps and make it a 6/6. Now, he does have a Drakenoid Operative on the board. And originally it's a 5/6, but he buffed it with his location, Cathedral of Atonement, which gives a minion +2/+1 and draw a card. So he's trying to draw cards. My Vile Library, it has been nerfed. Oh, his hand's too full. He just milled himself. So it used to give you +1/+1 for the library and also the imp, but right now it's only the imps. So if you play it and you have no imp and you try to buff something, it will not be buffed. Yeah, so right now I have 3 imps, 1 6/6 imp, and 1 1/1 imp. And what I'm trying to do is get Kelthos Sinstrider into my hand so I can do my Daddy D combo. That would be fantastic. Come on, Kelthos. Come on, man. Come on, maybe I can Impending Catastrophe him. Oh man, that would be so great. Because he only costs 6 mana. I could do that all in one turn, and it wouldn't matter if I milled myself. Now, see, I don't know if this guy's like genuinely thinking about what he's supposed to do. I don't know if he's like disconnected again, or I don't know if he's just trying to wait and burn the rope because he's being a troll, or he's doing it because he thought I was doing it. See, he's just waiting to the last minute to play his stuff. And it's just aggravating. Oh my god. Okay, so I am going to a pending catastrophe because I really want him. Come on, where are you at? Come on, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Ooh, well, that didn't happen to him. Okay, I'll play you. And I'm going to trade you back in. Come on. Kill the... Oh, I drew him. Oh. I drew him. Yes. Now, what's going to be bad if I've done all this and he steals my sour Denathrius? That would be very upsetting. So I'm going to kill his 7/7 with my 6/6. Actually, I probably should have just gone face. But I'll do that. I'll go face. I had lethal. I'm such a dingus. It's because I want to do this combo. So I should have just killed him. See, I'm also bad at math, so that was a terrible misplay on my part. But it's because I wanted to show you guys this combo. That's why. Now, I wonder if he's going to take it. Oh, no, he's just going to play his. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, if I had just ran my 6/6 into him, he would be dead. But instead, didn't because I wanted to play this combo. So it's very possible that I have killed myself. So those are the simple mistakes that you really got to watch out for that I clearly did not. So yeah, watch out for that. When you can go lethal, go lethal. Even if you want to show off a really cool combo. And it doesn't even matter because sometimes I really goof this combo up. But this combo actually won my game, my 500th game that got me this golden warlock. So, alright, so here's the combo. Basically, you play Kel'Thas. Every third minion you play cost 0. So play him. Okay. I have the 0 cost Murlocula. So I play him. And then the third card I play is going to be Big Daddy D. 4/0 mana. So that's a 10 cost minion for 0 mana, which is insane. So what I am going to do now is still got the 12/4, which kind of worries me. Trade you. Okay, Imp King Reform's not bad. I'm going to get rid of that. And then it's probably not going to be good. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know. Okay, so he milled himself again. It's very possible that I've still lost because I should have killed him when I had the chance instead of wanting to show off this combo. If I lose, I'll lose, I think, 1 star. And I really need to get to gold 10 because once I get to gold 10, it won't matter if I lose. Okay. Okay. I do have Imp King Reform. He's going to play Murlocula. Okay. I think what I do now is pivot to Dreadlich Tamsin. Because I'm going to run out of cards and it'll add rifts in my deck, and it'll be a way to generate imps for me. And I can kind of outlast him, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack his Murlocula with my Murlocula, and then I'm going to play Dreadlich Tamsin. It'll clear his board for me. It'll put 3 Fell Rifts in my deck, which will extend my deck so I don't mill myself. I get to draw cards, which I kind of didn't want. I'm going to play Imp Gang Boss, and then I'm going to play Flustered Librarian and end my turn. Alrighty, so that's not good. He flooded his board. But I do have Gigafin, which will eat all of that. So there's that. I'm sorry if you hear a lawnmower in this episode. My landlord is cutting my grass. And I've already put too much work into this. So my apologies. Alright, come on, dude. You got 0 mana left. Just please end your turn. I hate it when people do this. I'm sorry if I offended you at the beginning of this match because I was trying to explain something for my podcast. I'm so sorry. You know, I apologize. I don't know what else I can say or do. I just don't. You know, I'm sorry. Because I think he's doing it on purpose now. Alright, so I gotta move this so I can see. He's got 9 cards. I have 4. But I'm gonna run out of cards. Let's see if he kills Gigafin and gets his minions back. Hopefully he won't. Honestly, this is why I should have went face, because he would already be dead. But instead, I wanted to do the cool Big Daddy D combo. So let's see. Yeah, he's gonna get him back. I'm definitely gonna get him back. Okay. How many cards I got? 8. Alright, let's go. Put that in there. Maybe I'll get one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Alright. And, now I'm going to start fatiguing myself, which is not great. That is essentially when you have run out of cards. So what's going to start happening is I'm going to start taking more and more damage each round until I die. Honestly, I'm probably done. I probably can't kill this guy anymore because of this dragon. Oh, man. What if I silence his minions? I got old MK Reform. I still got him, so. Sorry I wasted your time, guys. Because I should have just Again, I should have just killed him because this would be over. But instead, he's going to torture us. So, you know what? I'm going to make him work for it. He's probably got me. Again, very important note. This is why you always go face when you have the chance and do lethal. Because I would have killed him. But again, I wanted to be a show-off and show off the Sire Denathrius Wombo combo. Was it worth it? Probably not. Because I'm getting hungry and I want this guy to hurry up. But he's not, and it's making me big sad. So instead, let's see what he does. Okay. He's showing off. I should have killed him. Alright. At 17. He's got me. I'm just gonna concede. He's got me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, so yeah, I'm defeated. I lose my 1 star. But that's okay. I'll redeem myself in my next gameplay, guys. I promise. I won't try to show off and do the Big Daddy T combo. But I didn't really describe what I was doing as much, so I do apologize for my podcast listeners. From here on out, I'll try to do that with the gameplay. But really, I just wanted to showcase the Firestone deck tracker. So in this last portion of this shorter version of this video, I'm going to talk about gameplay. I will be posting a longer video that goes into, let me show you, that talks about battlegrounds, mercenaries, and modes. But for the sake of people, especially students and coaches who just want to get into the standard Hearthstone play, this is the version for you. Okay, so now I'm going to get into gameplay, and again, I'm going to be playing the Implock, which Dylan and I have named Daddy D's Imps because of Sire Denathrius, or Daddy D, as the community calls him. So when you pick a deck, you queue up, and I've mentioned this before, you are matched against an opponent. I always play ranked. I mean, there's no reason really not to. It's just, if you're going to play and put in the time, you might as well start ranking up. Alright, so I get to go first, so that means I draw 4 cards. So I drew my location, which is Vile Library. It's a 2-mana, give a friendly minion +1/+1 for each imp. It's got a duration of 2. I drew Big Daddy D, I drew the hero, Dreadlich Tansman, and I drew Void Walker. I'm going to toss back the Void Walker, the hero, and Big Daddy D. I do not need them right now. And as you can see, I've got the Firestone overlay tracker. What I drew instead was the Murtlacula, Imp King Ravam, Imp Gang Boss, I have the coin, and I drew the Flame Imp. So as you can see, it's turn 1. I have 1 out of 1 mana. So the cards glowing green, those are the only cards I can play. So I'm going to play the Flame Imp. It is a 1-cost mana. I know that because of the 1 in the top left corner. It has 3 attack, 2 health, and it has a battle cry, deal 3 damage to your hero. It's a very powerful turn 1 play, so they have to offset it somehow. And I'm just going to kill it, just with a spell. This is a mage that I'm playing, by the way, and I don't know why I emphasized it, but they played Ruined Orb, deal 2 damage, discover a spell. So it's not... You know what? I don't want to say what it's not, because I don't know. This is where I mess up. I should know, based off that card, what kind of mage I'm playing. Is it Big Spell Mage or Spooky Mage? I don't think it's Big Spell Mage, because that wasn't a big spell, so I think I'm playing Spooky Mage. So I'm going to use the coin, and I'm going to bring out the Imp Gang Boss. The coin gives me 3 mana, so I'm able to coin out the Imp Gang Boss, which has 2 attack, 4 health, and whenever it takes damage, it summons a 1/1 Imp. The mage is going to use Arcane Intellect, which allows them to draw 3 cards. And I just drew Fiendish Circle, and I'm going to play that. It's a 3 mana spell, summon 4 1/1 Imps. I'm going to attack with my 2/4. Basically, what I want to do is kill this mage as quickly as humanly possible. Because, yeah, this is Spooky Mage. Because she's going to start flooding the board with the skeletons. They're a volatile skeleton, Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. So that's bad, because there is a card, Kel'Thuzad, and this deck runs it. When he's played, he summons all the skeletons that have died this game, and what skeletons can't fit on the board, it will actually just blow up and do damage to your face. So their goal is to kill me by doing that. That's one of their win conditions. So I'm going to play my Vile Library. I'm going to put one of my imps at a 6/6, and I'm just going to go face with everything. I want to make the mage deal with my board, and I want to do as much damage as possible. I'm going to tap. I probably should have tapped first. Always tap first. But what I drew was the Mischievous Imp, which is a 4-cost card, 3/3. So I'm sorry if this is overwhelming. I don't want to be rude to the person I'm playing against and take a long time, because that is a way that people troll. Alright, so yeah, they're attacking the imps, attacking the 6/6 that I had, and just trying to clear my board. But every time one of my friendly minions died, my infuse cards get activated. So I have Mischievous Imp, infuse, summon 2 copies of this. So it's a 4-cost minion that will now summon 3. I also have Imp King Rafam in my hand, so he's been activated. His battle cry is resurrect 4 friendly imps, and if one more minion dies, he's going to give my imps +2/+2. And then I have Big Daddy D in my hand. Battle cry, deal 8 damage amongst enemies. So every time something dies, Big Daddy D is going to get triggered. But I also have to watch out for that, because the mage might also have their Big Daddy D, because it's a very common card. But also there is a danger in flooding my board with minions, because very easily the mage could just freeze the minions and stop them. But this is Spooky Mage, so I don't think I have to worry about that. Alright, so only 2 of these skeletons have died. She just summoned 2 more. I think I'm just going to keep going face. I have 6 cards in my hand. I'm going to tap. Okay, I get Wicked Shipment. I'm going to trade that. And I get Fiendish Circle. Okay, I'm going to Fiendish Circle, flood my board with even more imps, and then I'm going to Vile Library one of these 3 ones. That makes it a 9/7. I'm going to go face with the 9/7. I'm going to go face with a 3/1, face with a 3/1, face with the 1/1. That puts the mage at 5 health. I'm still at 21. Again, I want to kill this mage as quickly as humanly possible. Because I really don't like this matchup, even though Dylan says it's a good matchup for Implock. Yeah, not trying to pull off any fancy-dancy combos. I just need to do 5 damage. And as you can see, the mage just 100% cleared my board with a bunch of spells. But I do have Imp King Reform. He's now been activated. So I'm going to play Imp King Reform, and he's going to summon the Imp Gang Boss at a 4/6. A 1/1 Imp that's now 3/3. 2 more 1/1 Imps that are now 3/3s. And I'm going to play out Void Walkers. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to play out Molecula. So he's going to have to go through the Void Walker first. So let's see what he does. I mean, the benefit of him killing my entire board is Daddy D gets activated. So he's going to Flame Strike, deal 5 damage to all my minions. Essentially clear my board. But he did give Big Daddy D a lot. So hopefully I can live long enough to play Big Daddy D. We'll see. Man, now I gotta guess what spell he chose. Oh, I really don't know. Probably Fireball. Yeah, I'll go with that. No. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna Hero Power. I'm gonna tap. Fantastic. Alright, I'm just gonna play Dreadlich Tamsin. That is my hero. It's gonna do 3 damage to his minions. It's gonna put 3 rifts in my deck, and when it's summoned, it summons a 3/3 imp. So basically every time I draw, there's a good chance that I can summon an imp, which is, you know, what this deck is all about. Now, you might be tempted to play this Molecula because it costs 0, but you do have Big Daddy D in your hand, so you definitely want to save it and see if you can't draw Kel'Thas to get that nice wombo combo off. If we don't get it, it's not a big deal. Again, all we got to do is whack this fool in the face for 5 and they're dead. So he's just going to Hero Power and kill my stuff. Now, Big Daddy D is at 26, so again, if I can just play him at turn 10. Oh my god, I hate this so much. Okay, let me see. What do I think he picked? Let me think. Probably that. I'm incorrect again. Big surprise. Okay, so I'm going to play my Battle Library. I'm going to play my Imp Gang Boss. I'm going to play, which triggers a trap, but that'll summon something for me. I'm going to play my Void Walker. And I will tap, put a rift in my deck, draw a card, and what do you know, there's our boy, Kel'Thas. Alright, so you're going to get to see me pull off this wombo combo if I can live one more turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Battle Library the Void Walker, and I'm going to end my turn, and next turn is turn 10, so I guess I don't need to do the combo, but it will be fun nonetheless. So let's see. Puts a bunch of minions on his board. Did Frozen Touch. It's just doing 2 damage to my Fate. Oh, nope, doing it to the Void Walker. And doing it to the Void Walker again. So just trying to clear out my taunt so he can get my minions. Okay, so here we go. So here is the Kel'Thas combo. So I'm going to play Kel'Thas first. And then I will play Molecula. And then I will play a 0 cost Big Daddy D. And there you go, boys. The wombo combo for the win. And that's why you run Sire Denathrius in your deck. So that is gameplay. That is this specific deck, Implock, because that's what I'm the most familiar with. I can also do Quest Hunter, Face Hunter, Big Beast Hunter. I did just build Spooky Mage, which is what that guy was playing. So I can show you Spooky Mage. So I hope you enjoyed that. My goal now that school has started is I'm going to do an episode at least once a month. It might be something like this. But I am just going to try to do at least once a month. If I do anything extra, it probably will just be me playing Hearthstone or Phasmophobia. I have really gotten into that, even though it terrifies me. So, yeah, there will be a longer video. I'm going to go over Battlegrounds, Mercenaries, and modes. But for now, this is all you really need to know for Hearthstone 101. I hope it's been helpful. I hope it's been informative. And as always, feel free to reach out to us at the Esports Report. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Google Play. If you are a Hearthstone player, whether you're a coach or a student, or a Play Versus representative, we're more than happy to have you on to play Hearthstone against or Hearth Coach with. So, yep, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and stay tuned for the longer version of this where I talk about the other modes. Bye!